Hello, everybody. Welcome to another weekly installment of The Takeaway. My name is Jessica, and we have a new face here.
Eleanor.
And we are here with Milaine. You've taught us how to pronounce it.
Yes.
Hopefully, by now, we all
You've been
Milaine.
letting me say your name wrong all this time because I
I'm
always
so used to it.
Milaine.
I get so many variations that I don't actually mind. Like,
Can you even tell the difference anymore?
yeah, I've got Milaine. People think it's Afrikaans. So the other day, and I was like, I'm really not Afrikaans. I'm actually Portuguese. So it's very far. Don't speak to me in Afrikaans. I don't understand. Yeah. So I get Milaine, Melanie. I don't know, all sorts of things.
All of them.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that.
So we've been in a series, if you've been with us for the past couple of weeks, called Tired of Trying. I feel like, just Paul and Milaine have just been in our business. We've been doing some really good heart work, looking at expectation, frustration, and just, this season, I think a lot of the feelings that some of us have been going through. So if you're feeling tired, you're tired of trying, I hope you've been journeying along with us in this series.
Absolutely. On that, I just feel like I must ask you guys this question. What have you tried to do for so long that you just can't do it? You tried since you were a child. For me personally, it's been cartwheels. I can't. I just can't do
I should
a
do some
cartwheel.
coaching with you.
No,
I used to do gymnastics. So I'm like, cartwheels,
pro.
handstands. I'm like, I love that stuff.
You can do it all. So
Yeah.
next week, maybe I'll be able to do a cartwheel.
Oh, I don't know. I think probably consistently exercising. Like Paul is so consistent. He does like 5 out of 7 days a week. I'm getting better, but I'm just like, it's a real struggle to be consistent with exercise.
I'm going to jump on that exercise one. But for me, I've been wanting to run a 10K.
Oh, wow.
Like, I just feel like it's just like a standard, like just 10K, and I've just never done it. I think the closest I've gotten is like 7.
Wow.
So, I'm
You
tired
have
of
to.
trying. Like, I'm done. I'm
Next
done
year,
running.
Jess, how about I sign you up for a race?
Okay. Okay.
Anyways.
So thank you so much for sharing this morning and just being so vulnerable with us and just telling us that story of Jacob. I just wanted to ask if you can maybe just give us a synopsis and an overview of what you spoke about yesterday.
So Jacob is an interesting character. Like his story goes from Genesis 25 to 30, so it's a lot happens in his life, and he's someone that goes through so many struggles. His life just didn't go according to plan, and I think that's one of the biggest takeaways that you can take is that your life, especially you guys are a lot younger than me, you have an idea of how your life is going to go, and his life didn't go according to plan, and he had to really wrestle with God to save him and rescue him from just his enemies, from his brother, because he had deceived, that's the right word, deceived his brother to steal his birthright. And then there was more deception when he deceived his father into getting his inheritance, his brother's inheritance. He ran away from home, and funnily enough, then he got deceived by his father-in-law 3 times at least that we read about, and then had to run away, but Father God released him to run away. And so when he left, and he went back to Esau, he came back and he was afraid because he had to be obedient to God, because God said go back home. But he was afraid because his brother vowed to kill him the last time he saw him. So and that's where that wrestle, the main verses of my message, is that wrestle happened, was where he had to go back to his brother, and he had to really wrestle with God, and he didn't let go of God until he had the blessing. And I think I think often when we go through hard times, we withdraw. I think it's in our culture. Even if we offended with a friend or we upset with someone, we withdraw, we don't confront. And I think that's also a major takeaway, is to go to God, engage with God in our difficult times.
I really love that story, and just how it really speaks into how all of us live our lives. You have these ideas, but we come through these hurdles, but God is always there with us. And I love what you said about perseverance. It's not this long race, but it's these short races over and over again. So yeah, I think that was really powerful.
I personally really like when you're just speaking about being honest with God and being honest with God with where we're at. Because often when I'm like really frustrated, my first thing is to go rant to a friend or go like just complain about it and this and this and this and this,
Yeah.
or God, you made me feel like this, instead of like actually going to God. And I really like you spoke about the Psalms.
Yes.
And going to the Psalms, and David was that one verse where he said, blot out people in the book of life.
Yeah,
I'm
take
like,
them out. Imagine you're upset with
Yeah.
Jess and you're like, just take that girl out of the book of life.
make her go to hell, like, you know, those kind of things.
Yeah.
I would never say that to you, but I just really love that, and it's
Yeah.
challenged me to do that, to be honest with God, and also when I don't have the words, to even just turn to the
Yes.
Psalms and just like read through that.
Definitely.
Like there's like 150. Is it?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
150, yeah.
Like I'm telling you, I've got 150
Yes.
different emotions that I can go
Yes, because I think we do. We don't. Sometimes we don't have the words, and I'm someone like that. I'm not someone with many words. I can struggle like to identify my emotions and how to express them. So to go to the Psalms is a great way to put words to your feelings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, I think, I guess for me, my final takeaway was just how Jacob wrestled with God, and even afterwards, he had that limp because of what had happened to him in his wrestle with God.
Yes.
And it reminded me of this quote that I've read that said, "In my deepest wound, I saw your glory, and it astounded me."
Yeah.
And so even after that wrestle, he has that testimony
Yes.
that he carries with him, and he can speak to that moment of how God was with him, how he wrestled with
Yes.
God, and he's come out on the other side. So I don't know what's that one thing you'd want people at home to take away and keep with them from the sermon?
I think, yeah, like we're all going to go through hard times. And I think that's why even this morning, before I came to church, I was like, oh, this is quite a depressing sermon, you know, like what about those people that are not going through a hard time? But the word says that you will go through a hard time at some point in your life. And it's nothing you can do to stop it. It's nothing that you've done for that to happen to you. It's not like you've done something wrong and now you're going through a hard time. Because I think people also, I was chatting to someone after the service and they were saying, you know, sometimes you can feel guilty, like I've done something to deserve this. But hard times will come, and it's how do we respond to them, and to really engage with God and not withdraw. I think that would be my number one takeaway, is just go to God, be honest with Him, and He can handle all our emotions. He created every single emotion that we feel. No emotion is sin. He created them, so it's what we do with them. So let's go to Him and be honest with Him.
You're not numb.
Yeah.
We live in a
Yes.
generation where we just numb
Yeah.
to things, and
Feel those emotions.
that's very important. And you said that Jesus had like 30 something different emotions that we can
Yes.
say he felt in the Bible. So
Yes.
literally looking at Jesus and seeing how he felt. He
Yes.
wept, he laughed, he cried, he did all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you to you for the sermon, and thank you to you and Paul for pressing into the series and continuing this series. I think it really resonated with a lot of us, and a lot of us have some work to do and some emotions to feel. So yeah, if you haven't watched any of the sermons, I'll definitely encourage you to find the sermons, watch them, and plug yourself into a community to find people to journey with you, to carry these burdens with you. But yeah, from us, that is the wrap for our takeaway series, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
Bye.